The air crackled with anticipation. The City of Lights was alive with the buzz of football fever, as fans from all corners of the globe converged on Paris for this monumental clash. The Parc des Princes Stadium, a cauldron of noise and colour, played host to a battle of European giants. The atmosphere was electric, with every seat filled and every fan on the edge of their seat waiting for the drama to unfold. Paris Saint-Germain, the French champions, faced off against a resurgent Arsenal in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. Both teams had everything to play for, with a place in the final at stake. The aggregate score stood at 1-0 in favour of PSG, a slender lead earned on English soil. The tension was palpable as every pass, every tackle and every shot could tip the balance. The Parisian faithful, 47,511 strong, roared their team forward, desperate for another shot at continental glory. Their voices echoed through the night, a symphony of hope and passion. The first whistle blew, unleashing a torrent of energy onto the pitch. The players sprang into action, their movements a blur of determination and skill. Arsenal, needing to overturn the deficit, started brightly. Their intent was clear from the outset as they pressed high and moved the ball with purpose. They dominated possession in the early exchanges, their passing crisp and incisive. The Gunners looked to carve open the PSG defence with their intricate play. However, PSG's defence, marshalled by the impeccable Marquinhos, held firm. The Brazilian defender was a rock at the back, repelling wave after wave of Arsenal attacks. The first 15 minutes were a tense affair, both teams probing for an opening, aware that the first goal could be decisive. The crowd held its breath with every near miss, the tension mounting with each passing second. As the game settled into a rhythm, PSG began to assert their dominance. Their midfield, anchored by the tireless Marco Verratti, started to dictate the tempo. Kylian Mbappe, a constant threat with his blistering pace, stretched the Arsenal defence, creating space for his teammates. Then, in the 27th minute, the deadlock was broken. A PSG corner caused chaos in the Arsenal penalty area. The ball pinballed around, eventually falling to the feet of Fabian Ruiz. The Spanish midfielder, composed amidst the melee, coolly slotted the ball past a helpless David Raya in the Arsenal goal. The Parc des Princes erupted, the roar deafening. The goal seemed to jolt Arsenal awake. They poured forward with renewed purpose, their attacks gaining in urgency. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's talisman, began to weave his magic down the right flank, his trickery causing problems for the PSG defence. However, for all their attacking intent, Arsenal found clear-cut chances hard to come by. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, leading the line for the Gunners, endured a frustrating night. He snatched at a couple of half-chances, his touch uncharacteristically heavy. The Gunners were creating opportunities, but their finishing lacked composure. The tension on the pitch was palpable. The second half began with Arsenal continuing their search for an equaliser. The game became increasingly stretched, with both teams leaving gaps at the back as they pressed for the crucial next goal. Then, in the 66th minute, controversy struck. A PSG shot struck the arm of Miles Lewis-Skelly, an Arsenal substitute, inside the penalty area. The referee initially waved play on, but the VAR intervened. After a lengthy review, a penalty was awarded to PSG. The Parc des Princes held its breath as Vitinha, the Portuguese midfielder, stepped up to take the spot kick. His effort, however, was weak and poorly struck, allowing David Raya to make a comfortable save. Arsenal had been given a lifeline. PSG, however, were not to be denied. Just 6 minutes later, they doubled their lead. A swift counter-attack, started by a brilliant interception by Marco Verratti, saw the ball fall to Ousmane Dembélé on the right flank. The French winger, with a deft flick of his boot, found Achraf Hakimi unmarked on the edge of the penalty area. Hakimi, the Moroccan fullback known for his attacking prowess, took a touch to control the ball before unleashing an unstoppable shot into the top corner of the net. The Parc des Princes erupted once more, the home fans sensing that victory and a place in the final was within touching distance. Section 6, a glimmer of hope, a sea of despair. To their credit, Arsenal refused to lie down. Despite the odds stacked against them, they showed immense character and determination. The players knew that their fans were counting on them. and they were not about to disappoint. The atmosphere in the stadium was electric, with every Arsenal supporter willing their team to fight back. Just 4 minutes after Hakimi's goal, they pulled a goal back. The crowd erupted in joy, sensing a possible comeback. The energy on the pitch was palpable, and the players fed off the crowd's enthusiasm. It was a moment that reignited hope among the Arsenal faithful. A defensive mix-up between Marquinhos and Presnel Kimpembe allowed Bukayo Saka to nip in and steal the ball. It was a crucial mistake, and Saka was quick to capitalize on it. The young winger showed incredible awareness and speed, seizing the opportunity with both hands. The young Englishman, with composure beyond his years, rounded Gianluigi Donnarumma in the PSG goal before slotting the ball into the empty net. The stadium erupted once more, and Saka's teammates rushed to celebrate with him. It was a goal that showcased his talent and maturity, and it gave Arsenal a lifeline in the match. The goal breathed new life into the Arsenal ranks. The players who had looked dejected just moments before were now filled with renewed energy and determination. They knew that they still had a chance, and they were ready to give it their all. They threw men forward, desperate for an equaliser that would take the tie to extra time. The Arsenal players pushed forward relentlessly, creating chance after chance. The tension in the stadium was unbearable, with every fan on the edge of their seat. Wave after wave of attack crashed against the PSG defence, but the Parisians, marshalled by the imperious Donnarumma, held firm. The PSG goalkeeper made several crucial saves, denying Arsenal the equaliser they so desperately sought. The defensive line, led by Marquinhos, stood tall and resolute. As the clock ticked down, Arsenal's hope dwindled. The players gave everything they had, but time was not on their side. The realization that their Champions League dream was slipping away was written on their faces. The final whistle blew, confirming PSG's victory. The Arsenal players sank to the ground in despair, while the PSG players celebrated their hard-fought win. It was a night of contrasting emotions, a glimmer of hope overshadowed by a sea of despair. Section 7, the managers' chess match. The tactical battle between the two managers, Mauricio Pochettino of PSG and Mikel Arteta of Arsenal, was a fascinating subplot to the drama unfolding on the pitch. Both managers are known for their distinct football philosophies, and this match was a perfect showcase of their tactical acumen. Pochettino, with his experience in the Premier League and now in League One, has always been a proponent of high-intensity football. Arteta, a disciple of Pep Guardiola, brings a more measured, possession-based approach to the game. Pochettino, known for his high-pressing, attacking style, had set up his team to press high up the pitch, aiming to force Arsenal into mistakes. His players were relentless, closing down spaces and applying pressure on the ball carriers. This strategy was designed to disrupt Arsenal's rhythm and create quick counter-attacking opportunities. Arteta, on the other hand, had opted for a more patient approach, looking to control possession and gradually work openings in the PSG defence. His team focused on maintaining the ball, building up play methodically from the back and waiting for the right moment to strike. This approach required discipline and precision, as any lapse could be exploited by PSG's aggressive pressing. Both managers made crucial substitutions throughout the game, seeking to gain a tactical advantage. Pochettino and Arteta were constantly on their feet, analysing the flow of the game and making adjustments. Each substitution was a calculated move, aimed at either reinforcing their strategy or countering the opponent's tactics. Pochettino's introduction of Ousmane Dembélé proved to be a masterstroke, with the French winger providing the assist for Hakimi's crucial second goal. Dembélé's pace and creativity added a new dimension to PSG's attack, catching Arsenal off guard and creating the decisive moment of the match. Arteta's changes, however, were unable to turn the tide of the match. Despite his best efforts, Arsenal struggled to break down PSG's defence and find a way back into the game. The match ended with PSG emerging victorious, a testament to the tactical prowess of both managers. But ultimately, Pochettino's strategy prevailed on the day. Section 8. The final whistle blows. As the final whistle blew, the Parc des Princes erupted in a cacophony of sound. PSG, after years of near misses, had finally booked their place in another Champions League final. The players celebrated in front of their ecstatic fans. The weight of expectation lifted from their shoulders. For Arsenal, it was a night of heartbreak. They had given their all, but it had not been enough. Mikel Arteta, his face etched with disappointment, could only watch on as his players trudged off the pitch, their dreams of European glory shattered. Section 9 on to Munich. PSG's victory sets up a mouth-watering final against Inter Milan in Munich. The French champions, led by the attacking trident of Mbappe, Neymar and Messi, will go into the final as slight favourites. However, Inter, crowned Italian champions for the first time in over a decade, will be no pushovers. The final promises to be a clash of styles, with PSG's attacking flair up against Inter's defensive solidity. One thing is for sure, it will be a fitting finale to what has been a thrilling Champions League campaign.